All right. Welcome to our experiment update where we recap what we tried at home, how it worked or didn't, and what we're tweaking next. So today is Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. I'm a little bit run down already, no pun intended, after this morning's Murph, which for those of you who don't celebrate, it's a 1 mile run followed by 100 push-ups, 200 pull-ups, 300 air squats, and then another 1 mile run.
That is called the Murph after U.S. Navy SEAL Michael Murphy, who died in Afghanistan in 2005. And it's something that we CrossFitters do every Memorial Day. This is my second, your third,
Yep.
fourth, in order to honor all fallen soldiers.
That's right. And it is a doozy on the legs.
Yeah, it's great though. It's a wonderful way to start this summer holiday.
Yeah. Yeah, feeling good actually, though we'll see how we're doing tomorrow morning.
This is true. This is true.
So this is our fourth experiment update.
Woo.
And we are in the throes of a new arc of the most important thing, but we're still running our experiments at home and hope that you are too. Let's start with family meal.
Yeah, so we had our second family meal on Friday, right?
We did.
Another round of popsicles, a different kind this time. But I think that there is something magical about the popsicles. Everybody takes a little while to eat them, but you can talk while you're eating them. They're like sweet and also messy, fun. So that's been enjoyable. And we did movement afterwards as well.
Yeah, you also introduced the talking stick.
Yes, the talking ball. So we asked the same 3 questions this week, right? What we liked about this week, what we'd like to leave behind, and where we can improve. And yeah, there's something about holding the talking ball that actually gives each person more of an opportunity to hold court, I think.
Yeah, it was cute and a great way to kick off the long weekend together.
I think you said this last time, but I do think that the family meal on Friday and the family meeting on Sunday afternoon feel like great bookends to the weekend.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah, the other thing that, actually comes up in the episode that we just recently recorded on Loved and Lovable is on Friday night after our family meal and movement, Hunter, Jade, and I continued the ball throwing game, but inside with stuffies, and we made up a new game that we're calling the Love Game, where we are throwing a stuffy to one of the 3 of us. But in order to throw it, or when you throw it, you have to say something that you've noticed about that person. So things like girl who tried blue eyeshadow for the first time today, or girl who loves puzzles even more than pickles these days. Or for me, they said, mama who only dresses up when she goes to parties. So yes, lots of laughs and, just an opportunity to see and be seen.
Yes, see and be seen.
And they love it. So we've played 3 nights in a row now. And it's our little thing that we're calling the Love Game. And they don't really want Daddy or Maverick involved for the moment. So we're just going to keep it between the 3 girls for the time being.
That's right. It's very sweet. And they love sitting on top of their new bunk bed and playing this game. So.
Chucking the stuffed animals at me.
Yeah.
Another reason why Maverick's not allowed to play.
Maverick he's got some talent there as a potential pitcher, but that's not what you want flying at your head right before bed.
That's not the Love Game.
No.
Yeah.
His football throws were actually pretty good this weekend too. I'm impressed with his ability to throw the ball forward.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes, that's new. That's new.
You used to always go behind him.
Yep, that's true. That is new. I just love that the 2 of you are throwing a football together.
Yeah. Yep. And then for family stories, I put on some home videos, and the kids, I think at first they were a little bit in a trance. Like, I don't think they understood fully that it was me and my brother. But then when they grasped that, I think they started drawing the similarities back to them, and especially me to Maverick, because one of the videos we watched was when I was around 3.5 and Maverick is 3.5. So it was very sweet. I just think that the tie back of some of these stories to their world is a little bit hard at this age. So just more that here are my parents. They loved me. things like that. Pretty simple, straightforward, not, going into stories about them or things that we did together necessarily, but more just showing that I was a kid too.
Yeah, totally. I also like that they get to see the house that you grew up in
Yes.
because that house is no longer a Neufeld house, right?
Right.
So seeing the space that your family called home, I think is very cool.
Yeah, I agree. Pretty, it's a pretty special little video there. I got to go back and watch it myself because I was skipping around for their sake.
And something I think that you knew, but that was really apparent from the videos, at least the parts that I saw, were just this constant music. There was always music in your house.
Always music. That's right. That's a great recall. The the amount of kids' music and the amount of instruments in my house were really serious. It was a very serious endeavor, I think, and intentionally, my parents just put music around us all the time, and it resulted in a very musical childhood.
And adulthood. I mean, both
And
you and your
adulthood.
brother are fantastic singers. And James is quite a performer still to this day.
That's right. Yeah, he's in multiple improv groups and musical improv, and
hmm
he does multiple theater shows. He just loves it. So
We love you, Uncle Jimmy.
we sure do.
And then we had family meeting number 4. Definitely the post nap 3 p.m., 4 p.m. is a great time for us.
Yes.
Would you agree?
I would agree.
Yeah. So that shift, I think, is continuing to work. And everybody's looking forward to it these days.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Hunter say, Jade said, "What are we doing this afternoon?" And Hunter said, "We have our family meeting," which I thought was so cute. And for our learning this week, we attempted to learn how to twerk, which was hilarious. And Greg
Highly
did the
recommend.
best.
Highly recommend.
Highly
this.
recommend. It's amazing. It is. I give so much credit to anyone out there that has mastered the twerk because I literally cannot even get started. Greg took a few steps forward, but I would say you were the only one that could even move the muscles required.
Yeah, I don't think that I was doing the twerk as much as one of the other movements that resembles it.
One of the foundational exercises?
Yeah,
the booty jump?
the booty jump. The booty jump. Yeah, I can do that, but the standing twerk is not one that I even really comprehend where that shake needs
It's
to
still
come
a work
from.
in progress, but it was a lot of fun
Yeah.
and resulted in a lot of laughter. And I just like this idea of moving our bodies when we learn. It feels much better to me than watching a YouTube video to quote unquote learn, as in like the thing you do inside your brain.
Hmm.
Yeah. So let's keep that going.
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, I think the YouTube video that we pulled up to attempt to appease Hunter, who wanted to learn about electricity, was really helpful because it was an experiment to build a circuit and connect a light bulb. And after showing it to her, we were like, okay, so do you want to do this during family meeting? She said, no. Now I know. Now I know how it works. Thanks.
Right. So during the pre-meeted, we tried to really nail down what she wanted to learn so that there was, because we've had this challenge where unmet expectations, right? On the Sunday meeting. It's like I think someone has an idea in their mind of what they're going to learn, or maybe not. Maybe they just haven't really solidified it. So the idea that we're running into is that we want to have an outcome in mind if we are going to suggest something at the Saturday pre-meeting, that there's an outcome in mind that they would like to have on Sunday, so that there are no more so much disappointment.
That's right. And it turns out that what she really meant by how electricity works is not how to build a circuit, but it's where does electricity come from? Where does energy come from? And that we're going to have to unpack a little bit more slowly.
Yeah, especially in today's world, but we don't need to go down that rabbit hole.
That's right. Though I did see something very cool, which is that the Tesla Cybertruck in a blackout will serve as a two-way battery pack, basically meaning that your home can run off the Cybertruck, just like a generator during a power outage. So that this is all coming is very cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah. And speaking of technology, a couple of carve-outs here.
This is the part of the episode where we are going to give Greg a platform to talk about the very cool things that he is seeing in his world.
Yeah, sounds good. I think as it relates to family, there are two purchases that I've made recently that I would highly endorse. So the first is what's called the limitless pin. And the limitless pin is an AI recorder. It's about the size of an Apple AirTag, and you can clip it onto your shirt or belt, or I wear it around my neck. What it does is it records the environment around you and the conversations happening that you're having with others. And the way I think about this is it's got an always on memory, and it's got one button, and that button is to create bookmarks. So I haven't gone super deep into all of the developer capabilities because you can certainly run your life off of this. But what I do so far is I bookmark when somebody says something that I want to remember by just clicking the button. And then I review every night my bookmarks. And then I have 4 prompts in the morning that show up that are very helpful. What I did yesterday, what are the to-dos that I said that I would do? How could I improve my communication, or what is one notice that I could use to improve? And then list out everything that happened. And so I just reviewed that first thing in the morning for the day prior. And I find that is 90% of the value there. But over time, I'm building this corpus of conversation between myself and Danielle, between myself and the kids. And the limitless pin recognizes all of us. Like I said to a colleague of mine, this reminds me of when I had a smartphone before the iPhone came out, and I knew that this was the thing that is the next paradigm shift, the next platform shift. So I'm pretty happy with it. So that's limitless.ai.
Cool. Yeah, you tend to be on the bleeding edge and right about these things. So I think it's very cool that you've brought it into our home. And within the first 48 hours, you told me that it gave you a suggestion on how to be kinder to Maverick. Is that right? Did it do it unprompted?
That's right. Well, it does it every morning. It gives me a suggestion. And that the second morning was about how to be kinder to Maverick in certain situations where I could have said this instead of brushing him off. So it's pretty cool.
I love that because I feel like these are things that I may have said to you or we may have discussed in passing. But for some reason, which is totally cool, that when you hear it through an AI, you're more open to listening and to really experimenting with it.
Most definitely. This sparked a lot of ideas for me about what the future of family culture coaching could look like. And then the second carve out $140 purchase, I think this thing is great. I think there's a reason why it's sold out on Amazon. It is called the Canon Selfie.
We'll link in the show notes.
We'll link in the show notes. It is a photo printer just for printing 4x6 photos. It prints beautiful images in about 20 seconds.
And when he says beautiful, he has a very high bar for visual images, so it must be very nice.
It's very nice. We'll see how the restocking of the ribbon and the paper is, but so far it seems pretty reasonable. I bought a couple refill packs already, I think like for $30 a pack. And we're printing out photos as a part of family stories, but just also as a part of, kids love to touch and hold photos.
Don't I know it?
And sending away to Amazon Prints or Shutterfly or whatever.
Or just printing off of our computer, which is a little womp.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same effect. So I think the Canon Selfie is a good little device. It's a very portable device too, just for printing out simple 4x6 photos and keeping the kids entertained with memories and having their own little memorabilia to walk around with.
Cool. So that is Greg's technology corner, everyone. Thanks for indulging us as he talks about what's on his radar and the gadgets that are always around our home.
Thanks. So I think this wraps up our 4th experiment update.
That's right.
We're releasing this as a separate mini episode instead of as a addendum to another episode. Hopefully that makes it more actionable and allows you to just listen quickly. Let us know what you think. Comment, email.
Let us know what you're trying at home. We'd love to hear your experiment updates too. Please feel free to reply to our newsletter.
That's right.
Or email us at
hi@tmitpod.com. That's hi@tmitpod.com.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Love you, Goosey.
Love you, Goosey.